Have you ever wondered what is the best method available to you to use in your local government campaign? Well then, keep watching! Hi everyone and welcome back to Councillor Chamonix. Now, have you ever wondered what is actually involved in physically running your campaign for a local government election? Today I will share with you 7 methods that you can utilise for your local government election campaign. I've helped thousands of people in the past and I have successfully run in many elections, and today I would like to help you too. But before we jump in, I want to make sure that you are subscribed. Are you? Hit the subscribe button on my channel and the little bell button next to it to make sure that YouTube will send you notifications when I upload any of my next how-to election episodes in this 17 episode series. Alright, let's dive in. Here are the 7 methods that you can utilize in your next local government election campaign. Now, I've broken up the election methods in 2 categories. The first one is things you can do in person, and the second one is things you can do remotely. We'll talk about the first category of in-person things. The first one is that good old-fashioned door knocking. Now, everybody loves it when somebody knocks on their door, do we? No. Maybe you do, but I'm not quite fond of it when a stranger knocks on my door. However, if you want to run in a local government election, this is the old traditional way that people have gone about letting other people know that they actually run in the election, who they are, what they stand for, and just give the people a bit of a flavour of what your character is and things that you would be interested in doing for your local government. Having that personal connection with somebody is quite different to them just reading your profile online or in an election pamphlet. So I suggest you get out and you go and walk the streets. The second option is town hall meetings. Now, this is something that I've seen being employed by not only local government members, but also, or maybe even more so, by state government and federal parliament members. This is where you can set up a date and a time and obviously a place where you will be available for people to come and have a chat. You can say, I will be in the town hall on Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. Feel free to drop in if you want to come and hear what the future is of the things we are planning for your area, or if you have any specific issues you'd like to come and discuss with me. Those kinds of things where people just can come and meet you on a specific day and time where they can discuss anything with you, impromptu basically. The third option for you to campaign is to attend events. Now, there are many events on all around you, mostly almost every day, which you may or may not know about, but I can ensure you that your local council are organising so many of them. Definitely on a weekly basis there will be some stuff happening, and so it's really up to you to find out what those different events are that's on. You can ask your schools whether they have anything on, feats, or they can have maybe open days on, or you can, for example, ask your local business associations whether they have any events on, shopping centres, residents associations, the list goes on and on. The fourth method that you can utilise is to organise your own events. Now, there are various different kind of interesting things that you could do. You could organise, for example, a bingo night where you sell raffle tickets and let people come along, and then you can also do a bit of a fundraiser while you're at it. Or you could do an event where people can, for example, go and meet with some other important people, if you may know some of those. If you have somebody supporting your campaign, let's say you have a famous personality, it might be a sports star, it might be somebody who's prominent in the area, and you could organize an event around that where people can come along and meet that person, but also then meet you, which in turn shows quite a good thing about you, because it shows that this person supports you and you are both seen together at this event, and people can, as I say, just come along and have a chat or ask you specific questions. You can really go so creative with organising events. The sky is the limit. Now, before we continue, I want to make sure that you are following what we are saying, and if so, please write "oh yes" in the comments below. if you are on the same page than me. The second category we will be looking at is remotely campaign. Now, I have 3 options within the remotely campaigning area. The first one is media. With media, it could be either things like newspapers, it could be your online prints, or it could be television or radio. There are many different media options that you can utilize, and I guess it comes down to what you feel most comfortable with. If you decide, for example, you want to try and get some publicity through the newspapers, you could either pay for that, which of course around election time, the newspapers are very aware of the fact that it's an election and they hike up their prices to reflect that. If you would like to have some free publicity, you could always try, as I said, and organize an event. And maybe if it's such an interesting thing where you are doing something with a famous personality, or you're trying to have awareness for breast cancer, you could always try and see if you can invite the newspaper to come along and cover your event, and that way they will hopefully give you some free publication in their next edition. Another way to get free media exposure is by doing a letter to the editor. Similarly for radio, there are many options on how you can get involved. Firstly, you can look up the email addresses or the telephone numbers of the radio stations in your area. And then you can also dial in when they have these dial-in time slots during the day and try your best to see if you can get through. The same goes for television. The same way in which you can try and approach the radio station, you can also try and approach the television channels. You can try and get in touch with some of the reporters if you know of something that's happening in your area, you'd like to bring to their attention. Just always remember that you need to give them something that sells their paper or that sells their episode on television or the news, something that people would like to watch. And if you can give them something that's watch-worthy, then your chances are much bigger that they would actually be in contact. The second way you can remotely campaign is by doing flyers or mail out to your residents. This can be a more expensive option because firstly you need to pay for the printing, and secondly, if you're not going to walk those many kilometers to cover the map of the area that you would like the flyers to be distributed to, you'll have to pay for a company that will actually deliver those flyers to people's mailboxes in time before the election. The third option of campaigning remotely is digital campaign methods. Now, digital can be so many things, and it actually really deserves a video on its own, which I will do in the near future. But essentially, digital comprises the more well-known things like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, websites, and the normal good old-fashioned emails that you can send. Now, again, with digital, there are some rules that you'll need to make sure that you stick to. If you are a candidate in an election, you usually get a list of people's addresses, and you are then essentially allowed to contact those people directly. Long before you actually run in an election, do a Google search on yourself and go and check that whatever is online is clear of what you would like it to be clear of. If there's anything on there that you can remove that you don't want other people to see, take it off before it becomes public knowledge that you're actually going to run in a campaign. Now again, I would encourage you to go and check out what the laws are in your state or country. There are usually many strict rules around what you may and may not do, so make sure that you don't overstep the line there, because that would be a sure way for you to start on the wrong foot when you start your campaign. Now the question of the day is, which of these campaigning methods do you actually prefer the most? Write them in the comments below and why you like them more than any others. Or potentially you might have some additional campaign methods that you would like to share with us. We'd love to hear them, so share it in the community and we can all enjoy these various methods that we can utilize at our next election campaigns. That's all for today, and thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.